It has been a long day. Dave here, how are you? Today is the 8th of March 2020. I hope you've had a good week. I've had a very, very busy week and trying to catch up, but I don't think you ever catch up, do you? All right, now today on the show, we will go, oh, see this? This is a lathe. Are you worried? I am. Today on the show, we were going to have Chris Clark, who is the editor of the Australian Woodsmith. And if you don't know the magazine, let me see if I can see a picture here and show you. This is the magazine that he's the editor of. And he was going to come up here and we were going to make some, do some inlay on some boxes. Now it was going to be very, very basic inlay. It's something that anyone with a table saw can do. And so I was very, very interested in doing that. But the problem was, he's just been to Japan for the last 3 weeks and got back a couple of days ago. And he said, Dave, what do you want me to do? The education department is saying anyone who's been doing international travel, because of the coronavirus, they've got to have the kids that are going to school have to stay away from school for 2 weeks quarantining. Now, I'm not one for panic, but at the same time, I'm thinking, I don't really want to expose myself to risk if I can avoid it. Japan has closed all of the schools over in the whole country. All the schools are closed. I bet you all the kids are going, yay, or however they say it. And I'm not even going to try a Japanese accent. So we had a chat. I said, look, how about we postpone it for a few weeks? Now, the problem with that is I then hooked in all this week, as well as doing videos for other people, I finished building the plane. I'm sorry. I know it was something for you and me. We were going to do this together, but I finished it. Now, next week, I will show you the finished result because I'm in the process of putting the finish coats on it and waxing. So it looks absolutely beautiful. I've put a couple of photos up on Facebook and Instagram, and you have no idea how it looks from those. It looks very boxish there. When you see it, you'll say, it's not the same plane. And it's all just from 3 sticks of wood. And you can do it, you can do it. So I'll show you that next week. I had to get it finished because I wanted to get it all, really good before I go up to the Brisbane Timber, Tools and Artisans show. Now, if you have a look down into the description box down below, you'll see there's a link for Rafflecopter for 5 free double passes for the show. If you're in if you're in Queensland, Northern Territory or New South Wales and you want to go to the show, please enter. For everyone else, just if you've got no intention of going there, don't enter because you're just going to put someone else in a disposition where they could have really gone and had a great time. Now, I will be taking my benches with me and I may even take this little Turner 220. Now, today's project is going to be working on fixing this. Now, this is the little ruby coloured cellulose acetate knob that lives on the front of this baby little plane. And how good has it come up? Well, I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a mount that this will go onto, and also I have this camera right here. I won't be doing to's and fro's, walking all around the workshop today. This is where I'm going to stay. So I'm going to turn this, so it can take that. I've got to drill a hole down the center. So if you haven't seen a lathe used as a drill press or for centering, I will be doing that as well. And also last week, I had someone say, Dave, just leave your remote in a central spot. Well, I thought better than that. This little remote also turns the dust extractor on, as well as my room air filter. So, infrared, don't get it, go wireless. Okay, so I'm going to mount this right away. That's the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to drill a hole through it. And I'm going to put a little ring through it and a carabiner, and it's going to hang on my hip. So wherever I am, just click, click, none of this wandering around looking. I'm going to check the run sheet here as well, just in case there's something I've forgotten. Remote for the dust extractor, yes. Lever cap for my wooden plane for hardwood planing. Yeah, if we get time. See, the angle on my plane is 45 degrees. This is the one that I'm making. For hardwood, they say 50 degrees is your best angle. Now, the rake, I think, the bevel on my blade from Veritas is 13 degrees. So if we add that together, it goes to 58. I'm going to try having that plane in, because it's such a thick thing. It's around 5 or 6 millimeters thick, that blade. So it doesn't really need the lever cap to give any stiffness or to support the tip. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to make another lever cap out of red gum that will sit further up, a bit more proud. And if we get time, we might get started. I don't think we will, though. I'm going to run out of time as it is. What's the time now? We're already in a few minutes. Make a jig. Yes, we're going to do that. Timber tools and artists entry, done that. Robert Landsman's wooden box he made for his daughter's birthday. Now, you're going to love this. He made this with a CNC, and I'm scared to show you because I think I will have family want some as well. Here we go. This is an absolutely beautiful box that he's made. I'll just see if I go to the next one for his daughter's birthday. All done on his CNC machine. And this is the last picture. Isn't that beautiful? Robert, I know people will say, oh, it's just a CNC, but I don't know how many people are aware of how much work goes into, you know, in the CAD section, getting everything ready to run it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Thank you so much for sending it. If you've got something to send in to me, do it. You know, thank you so much, Robert. That's great. Support the channel through Patreon and the Amazon links below. And I am trying to set up a Patreon stream that will be happening after the show, maybe half an hour after I finish the show. We'll hook in and do a Patreon live chat just for the people that are in Patreon. Brings me to the next thing. I got an email during the week saying that the NBN won't be here for another 3 months. They're saying end of June. I don't think it will be. You know, but don't tell them. I don't want to upset anyone that works for NBN. But I've had delay after delay after delay. This has been going on for 4 or 5 years. They've been telling me, yeah, end of the quarter. Not impressed. I know we've had the bushfires, all that kind of stuff, and I'm not blaming anyone. You know, it's gone between political parties. I'm not even going to go there. All right, so now I'm going to drill a hole through the back of this charger. Now, sorry, this remote control. I'll switch the camera because why not? It's up nice and close now. Look at that. So here is the remote that I've got, that way up so you don't get giddy, but we're in Australia. So for all you in the up in the States and the Northern Hemisphere, you'll be able to read that just fine. Okay, so here we go. This is inside. I intend to drill through this part. There is nothing in behind there. This is just battery case. All the workings are up here. So if I come in around 1/4 inch through all of that, I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to use a brad point drill, and I'll put it on there. Yeah, that way up. Let's see how we go. It's going okay. Ta-da! Okay, I'm hoping that's going to be big enough for this ring that I've got for it. Let's see if it's going to be. It might do. It might work. This part here, this is where I always stuff up a thumbnail. Do you get the same kind of thing when you try and split this open? Let's see how we go. Because there's a lot of force is required to keep these rotten things open. Here we go. I think it's going to work. So turning, turning, turning. This is an exciting show, isn't it? There we go. And the carabiner. Just a little cheapie. There we go. Done. Now that is going to hang from my hip. We'll go to the other camera and see if it works. Transition. There you go. It's going to on the side here, and I just pick it up. Whoop! I just turned the room air filter on. I couldn't get enough aim to get to. Oh, this is embarrassing. I've got to come around the corner here. It works. It works. And turn her off. Beautiful. That's great. Thank you so much. I forget your name who suggested it, but make a comment down below or on the side, wherever you want, and say, there you go, Dave. Isn't that a whole lot better? It is. All right, let's see if I can damage myself doing some turning. Now, I've set up the cameras to be a little bit interesting here. I think I've got main camera and second camera. There we go. How's that? Ta-da! It's all coming back to me. All right, here we go. I've got to put the helmet on. And I'm using the battery that John made for me for this. I'll come in a little bit closer. I don't know if John wants me to tell you about these things, but that was from Yellow Box Shed. You can see it there. And this is a lithium battery, and I get 15 hours out of it. Check his website out. He may or may not be able to do it for you. Now I'm wearing this because it's going to look after dust, and also if any of this flies off and wants to smack me in the face. All right, now I'm not the world's greatest wood turner. What I've done is I've adjusted the pulleys on this section here to make it turn as fast as possible. I've got pen jaws on here. I think they're called pen jaws. Let me just check so that I'm not leading you astray. They're pen plus jaws. There you go. That's what type of jaws they are. So it's a square section. I did ask someone one day, this is a nice quiet lathe. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? You can't even hear it. I did ask Theo, the wood turner, how fast should I turn? And I think he said was as fast as you can go with small stuff. Now I'm going to work downhill. With my gouge. Let's see how we're going there. Where's the knob? So that's the diameter here that I need to achieve. I don't want to go too small, and I've also got to drill a hole in the center here, so I've got to do a little bit more. I don't have any calipers on me. Now, for those who are curious how I'm managing to keep it parallel, my finger is running inside here, and I've got a hold of that there, so it's running inside here. So I'm using this as basically a gauge. Yep. A little bit more. See how we're going. It might be there. No. Could be. I've got a little bit of wobble. Yeah, that could be it. Now I'm going to drill a hole down the center using this. Now this is, for people that don't know, this is an M2 taper, Morse 2 taper. And I'm going to put it in the tailstock and basically wind her out until it locks. I could take that out, back the jaws back, and then hit it with my rubber mallet, which just happens to be here. Or I could do that. Okay, now I need to bring this up so that it's going to be in line with it. I need to move that out of the way. Now the only thing with my lathe is that it does, this happens. It can do that whilst it's loose. So I kind of have to center it up by eye as much as possible. Now I can wind it back a little bit and turn her on. Let's see how we go. This is going to be stationary. This is going to spin. Let's see how we go. So if I turn this slowly, it should go down the center. I don't have to go a mile. That might be enough. Let's have a look. This is fun stuff. I love this kind of stuff. All right, we're going to bring it back a little. Now I have to back it off to bring it back out of the way. Let's have a look. Now I've got to reduce. Now I've got to be careful. I don't want to split this thing. I don't want to split this open. So I'm going to take it back a little bit further. This one back to there. Oh, here's another thing. Watching in the corner. To get this out, you can put a rod down the end of the tailstock or just keep winding backwards and it forces it off. On my lathe it does anyway. Cool. We're going to take a little bit more off there. I might use the scraper. Whoop, I got a wobbly there. I think the chuck's coming loose. I hadn't tightened it up. Oh dear. It's been a long time since that's happened, so that's okay. I'm going to... that was a little bit of a worry. Let's just check before I do anything else that's going to be okay now. I think I need to go slightly larger on that hole. That hole is just a little bit too narrow. I've got a 4.5. That was a 4mm that I used. I'll take that drill bit out and go to the other camera. Oh dear. Yeah, that was a little bit of a worry, wasn't it? Keep your wits about you. Done. Slide that back in. Wind it back out so it'll go in. Beautiful. Now, what have I got over here? I should really see if I've got my spanner here and tighten that up. There it is, and there it is. Okay. Bit dangerous. Why isn't it catching, David? Well, the other thing I can do, of course, is I can hold that like so, and then put the other one in. And again, I'll probably have people put it in there. Cool. If I had another one of these, it would work well. I don't, but I do have the rods for the Sorby Pro Edge. They may end up being my new go-to. I shouldn't really be doing that. Let me see if it's going to stay. Beautiful. That's pretty tight. Yeah, I can't undo it by hand. Good. Yeah, I should really do that too, shouldn't I? All right. How are we going for time? 20 minutes. Great. I've got the other drill bit in. We'll center it. Or what I should say is we'll take it down and put it there. That's pretty good there. And bring it back a touch while we start it. Start the drill, start the thing up. Down with a 4.5mm. Beautiful. Let's see if it'll fit. I do believe it will. Let's go to the other camera so you can see what's happening. I'm going to just turn it manually. I think I like the two cameras running, because then you can see absolutely everything that's happening. Okay. Turning that. Seems to be going on nicely. That's good. Oh, jingos. I thought I'd broken it then for a second. No, I haven't. It's holding, it's holding, it's holding. Everything's good. Good. Move this right out of the way. Up here. Take this off. Let's see how that is. That looks pretty good. Okay. Beautiful. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm going to put the helmet on again, because I do not want to be a casualty. So the first grit I'm going to use is 180. Still got a mark here, hasn't gone yet. That's looking better. That's got rid of that mark. And now up to the top, around. The things you do all of your work with the coarser papers. I didn't bring 80 grit out because I thought that'd be a little bit too savage for this little one. I did use 80 on the others. What do you reckon? You like it? And I'm going to have people also saying you need to wet sand it. Let's have a look. I've still got a little bit of stuff there. There's a mark here and a mark there, and some marking there. The top's not looking too bad, so I've got more work to do. So I really do want to try and get rid of that and that and that. So I'm going to keep working with the 180. It's getting warm. what happens is it melts into the paper eventually. Oh, this is good. I've been wanting to do this all week, so in a way I'm kind of happy Chris didn't come. I don't mean it, Chris. Now, if you're watching the premiere, by all means, chat away. Let me see how the sound's going. Still going good. Okay. The batteries are mucking around on me. I haven't had a chance to charge them. These are the little ones for the microphone that I've got around the neck. Okay, that's looking brilliant there. And let's have a go in here. And there. Let's have a look. I think we've got rain happening. Indeed we do. It needs, and still needs a bit more. I'm pretty happy with everything down the body here. I'm going to let that go. I need to do some more around the top here. And down comes the rain. Can you hear it? You know what, I think that's going to do me on the 180. I did have 120 here just in case, but I don't want to get that savage with it. I think I have to. It hasn't gone down enough. Just in this little spot here. Okay, back to the 180. I'm looking for clean spots on the paper. Oh, that's much better. That was quick. So you can muck around with fine grades and then have to come back and work harder. Got some more 180 here. The good thing about this stuff is it tears, and it tears along the seam. Someone asked me about how I cut mine when I made those little holders, and that's how I do it. I just tear it along the grain, or along the weave, I should say. There we go. That's gone. Gone. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's better. All right, now I'm going to jump in with the next one up from 180, which is 240. Not that one, David. The blue one is 240. That's rubbish, that's no good. What have I got? This is being used for other stuff, but we'll see how it goes. See how with every grade that we go through in the abrasives, look at that already. Can you see through it and how nice it's coming up? I can see all the way in to the piece of wood, this piece of pine that we've cleaned up or shaped to mount this on. Oh, that's so good. Okay, that's the 400. What's next? 320. Oh, sorry, that was 240. Next is 320. It's a little bit hypnotizing, a bit hypnotic watching this stuff happen. And you think, oh, for sure he's gone too far with that particular grit. Or how come it looks like it's rougher now? I don't know. Maybe it's just the abrasives that I'm using. But they say they're one particular grit, or it might be because I'm dry sanding and not wet sanding. Let's have a look at that. That was 320. The next one I'm going to is 400. And it looks slightly worse, doesn't it? And I'm wondering whether or not I should start adding a little bit of water. So I have some water here. Now what I might also do is put something across there to stop water affecting this bed. What have I got? Give me a second. I'll have a look down here to see if I've got anything. I've got a bit of foam, that'll do. Just a bit of sponge rubber for the moment. Okay, that should sit there quite nicely. It's not going to go anywhere. Let's see how it goes. Yep. That's fine. Now what grade was I on? I was on 320. I'm going to put a little bit of water on it, see if that does anything. Let's see how that looks. That's all right. It's drying reasonably well. Okay, the next one is 400. And I'll also go in wet with this one. See how we go. Have a look. And I think I've got a microfiber cloth here as well. I do. Let's have a look. I'm going to bring this over here a little bit further, because it was up against the handles on the clamps over there, which were red. Which I might go to the other camera, see if it's going to make it any better. Yeah, that, actually what I'll do, I'm sneaking around on the other thing, I'm going to expand it up a little bit. And transition. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. I'll just leave it on that one for the moment. And you can see it's not doing too bad. There's a couple of scratches in there. But I think now if I go to the micro mesh, and I did get the micro mesh out ready. I'm on it. Honestly, I did. There it is over there. Found it. And I haven't done micro mesh for a while, so I need to read through it again. The brown one is the one where we start. Okay, so it's not that, it's not the black, then we go to the green and then the brown. So this is 1500. We'll start her up. As I say, if you were to look at what I was going to do today, and I was just going to work on an acetate knob for the plane, you probably wouldn't watch, but go, seen that. The next one I'm going to is the green, which is 1800. Green. I'm guessing people are going to say, Dave, you're turning way too fast. Don't know. Right. And then the next one is kind of a blacky grey, and it is 2400. I offered to Ian for his 220. This is Ian Kerry. This is the man who infected me with this bloody Turner pandemic. To dress up his the sole of his plane. Look at that. Now this is 3200, and he declined. Can you believe it? I can do this for you, plane, Ian. How nice is this? I'm going to turn it off there for a second and have a quick look. Hit it up with the microfiber. Not microfiber, the microfiber. What am I talking about? Now, anyone would say, wow, how nice is that in comparison? And it is, there's that spot that I tried to get out early. There's a little nick there, and this is the seam from when it was poured and cast. So the next one we're going to is 3600, I think. It's kind of a light brown. Have I got a light brown one in there? I think this is it. This one. Turn her on. So these things, these microfiber pads are what's called a scratch pad. So they go down to 16,000, and they work on the principle that the human eye cannot detect the scratch at 16,000. Still plenty of scratches there. Oh, that's lovely. 4,000 is next, which is a kind of a light blue kind of a colour. What do you reckon? Some people reckon I'm crazy. I love this stuff. And it's just going to make the 220 look really cool on the display. It's nice to touch as well. Next one is 6,000, which is kind of a, I think there's different colours here. 6,000, maybe that one. I don't want to get the wrong one, because I've got 612. I think it's that. Yeah. It is. Okay, I was over there mucking around, so I've still got these three to go. So this is 6, 8, and 6, 8, and 12. I thought it went to 16. My bad. Here we go. Then after this, we're going to go the cut and dry, or cut and polish, and then the polish. I just find that they make it. What happened there? Oh, that was scary. It's okay though. Don't panic. I just find those other ones make it look like it's a wet finish like this is now. So this is when I go to the polish. This is 12,000. More rain. I've probably got pen turners all over the place at the moment saying, Dave, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Okay, that's all of the microfiber. We'll turn her off. Sorry, the micro mesh. I get caught up with all of their terminology. That looks pretty cool. Even that. You know what? I could stop there, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take this hood off. Oh, listen to that rain. It's beautiful. We had no rain for so long that I really don't care if we're getting a bit now. And I'm going to use the 5,000. You might say, why are you going backwards from 12,000 to 5,000? Well, just from my experience, I'll switch the cameras. From my experience, it's worked best that way. You know, that looks absolutely beautiful, but I want it to look better. It's funny, when you're going through grits, sometimes you think, well, it can't get any better. You think that's it. And then you hit the next grit and you go, wow, what was I thinking? Of course it can get better. This is beautiful. Okay, so this is a 5,000 speed cut, and I'm using the same pad. Remember, this is the one that I wrote on the back what grit it was. I'm only going to put a little bit on in the corner there. That's all, just a tiny bit. Turn her on. Oh, it's doing it. I told you it would. And it is. Oh, that's why I did it. I'm going to go to the other camera while she's still spinning, and you will be absolutely amazed. Look at that. And it's going to go even better when I do the next one. Do you think it's good or bad cleaning old things up? Or should you leave it alone? I had someone get really cranky with me when I tidied up Arthur's workbench. I'll switch the cameras again to do everything first and second. Yeah, when I cleaned up Arthur's workbench, of course I use it all the time. Like, I wasn't going to use it when it was filthy. All the projects that I was doing with it, it's just you're going to make them rotten. It was going to be unusable. So he said, oh, you've destroyed it. You've just taken $1,000 worth, thousands of dollars off the value. And I thought, I'm not selling it. I'm going to keep it and use it. And it's the same with these. Here we go. This is the 8,000 polish. And just when you think it couldn't get any better, I find this is really good up there. It's like one of those, it's like liquid. It's so nice. I'm just getting a little bit more polish on it there. This is beautiful. Oh, that's going to do me. That is going to do me. I don't even want to touch it. It's so beautiful. I don't want to take it off. Here we go. I'm hoping everything is still Jim Dandy inside there. Indeed it is. It's possibly not focusing the best that it can. But what a difference. That is beautiful. I've got that microfiber rag somewhere here. I've got the helmet on top of it. And I should get another one, another little microfiber rag just to finish polishing it. Ian, yours can be like this too. There we go. And I've looked after the bed on my lathe. I'll switch it back over to the main camera. There we go. How good has that been? What are we up to as far as time's concerned? 45 minutes. Who would have thought? I'm going to pop it on the plane so I can just have a quick look, make sure it actually goes back on. Now what I've done is I've treated this with camellia oil because I didn't want it, just the outside, because I've still got to do a whole lot of work to the inside of this. Let's screw that on there. It still works. So if you were to see that plane from there, you'd say, that's brand new. So it is every day. The other planes don't like it going up there. They say, you're bringing the neighbourhood down, buddy. But very soon, they're going to say, yep, come on up. You can join us. That's beautiful. As I've had a lot on my plate, and when I can get these little things done, I'm going to sit that there so it's not actually, the blade's not touching the bed. When I can get these things done for myself, it's really, really enjoyable. Because a lot of the time, we've all got masters, haven't we? We've got to serve somebody. Bob Dylan said that, sung that song. Let me have a look at the spreadsheet. So we did a little bit of turning and we did a bit of polishing. Didn't know I could use a lathe. Neither did I. The remote. How good is this? Even if I've got stuff in the way, I can do that. Turn it off, slide it straight back on there. Thank you so much. I just needed a hurry up to do something. Making a lever cap. I'll show you the lever cap that I've made for the plane because I'm really proud of it, to put it bluntly. I'm walking past the plane at the moment. You're not going to see it, not yet. So this is the Veritas kit. And this is the lever cap that I've made out of very highly figured red gum. And this little guy here screws in. There's a brass insert that's got a flange on the back. And what I did was I counterbored that. They don't say to do that. They say to leave it proud, but I just found it wasn't going down under the brass rod, which the blade goes under. This goes under. You tension this up and it pushes up against the brass rod and back against the blade, and that stops the blade moving around. Plus also it's got a depth, lateral and height adjustment all in one thing. It's a very, very, very nice kit. So that's it. Now the reason I've said I'm not going to do any more on it is because it means I'd have to move cameras around all over the place. So you know what? I think that might do us for the day's show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, check the description box down below for all the links. If you want to help me out doing this kind of stuff, that's fantastic. But that's not why I'm saying it. The reason is I'm wanting to do something for you, and that is give away free tickets to the Brisbane Timber Tools and Artisans show. Now, I'll be there with my benches, and I will bring possibly this little guy as well, so you can have a look. And also the new plane that I've built, and it's beautiful and it works really, really well. I've given it a spin. And also Vicky will be up there doing copper foiling classes. So if you've ever wondered about copper foiling is basically lead light, but instead of using lead, you use copper, and you can do more intricate stuff than you can with heavy sections of lead. So she can make figurines and light catches, whatever you want. It's an introduction to glass cutting, and also you'll make a little project, take it home with you, and you'll get to keep the tools as well. So I think it's pretty good value. You get entry into the show. It's only an hour and a half, but you can stay for the show longer if you wish. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Look after yourselves, be nice to each other, and I'm going to come down to this one here. And don't forget, click the like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what I'm doing. It's always different, and look after yourselves, be nice to each other. I shall see you next week.